It was kind of fun.
This much rain.
It reminded me like summer's coming. We got a few more days of spring. Okay, not a few more days. What is like a month, a little over a month of spring left, John? I'm
21st of
skipping
June.
ahead. I'm skipping ahead.
That's okay. It did excite me. I was like, oh, thunderstorm. Also, if you're just waking up outside, you're like, what are they talking about? It's blue skies. It's already dried up. We had almost no rain with the thunderstorm, but we picked up something and there. It was moving way too fast and they were so little. It was moving at like 60, 70 miles per hour. Just literally passed us for 5 minutes. I did, however, I was smart enough to catch a video. I made it as my story. I was way tired, don't judge. But I can prove to you it did rain in the backyard, just a very little bit. 55 in Blaine, 64 this morning in Eden Prairie. Super warm morning. I think that's the first thing you're going to notice. It's warm. Now that rain, it's gone. By the time we get to 8:30, it's going to be sunny. And then you're going to see this system to the north. This is going to be this afternoon. So if you go north, it's going to be cloudier and cooler. South, windy and sunny. I'll let you know how windy it's going to be here in a little bit. Alicia?
John, thank you. Let's give you a look at the roads this morning. Yeah, things already dried out on the roads after the little light rain we got in certain spots here around the Twin Cities. No crashes to report at this time. Drive times are average. We'll show you the road conditions right now. Let me get my clicker here. 394 at Plymouth Road. Cones still up from the construction project happening there. But other than that, all things smooth sailing for your Tuesday.
We have some breaking news this morning, some sad news out of St. Paul. In the last few hours, we've learned several pets have died in a house fire on Cook Avenue East.
Yeah, wild story. Our Audrey Russo's live with some new information from the fire chief. Audrey, what have you learned?
Yeah, just within the last half hour or so, we've kind of shifted into cleanup mode here at this house on Cook Avenue. In the light of day, you can see just how rough of shape this house is in at this point in the morning. Now, fire crews have been on scene since a little bit before 4 a.m. When we got here, fire officials told us that this was a fire that started in the bedroom of this home. They were able to get everybody out. They were treating one homeowner, we're told, for smoke inhalation and minor burns. But again, everybody got out of the house safely. Unfortunately, though, fire officials did confirm to us that one dog and 3 cats ended up dying in this fire. So at this point now, fire crews are still on scene. We've been watching them sort of hosing the inside of the house down. We've seen sprays of water coming out of one of the broken windows. Obviously, though, you can see it's a little bit messy in this front yard as they kind of pull some debris out and try to figure out exactly what caused this fire. Now, we do know that the Red Cross is assisting the family with shelter. It's unclear how many people live in this home, but we do know that they are being helped out right now. Back to you.
All right, Audrey Russo reporting live for us. Thanks so much.
Well, in just a few hours, we're going to find out whether nurses at Maple Grove Hospital voted to authorize a strike.
Nurses say they've been bargaining with hospital leaders for more than a year now. Megan McPherson's live in Robbinsdale with a closer look at their demands. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning. Yeah, those North Memorial nurses from the Maple Grove Hospital will be here, as you mentioned, in just a few hours at the Robbinsdale campus to share whether or not they are one step closer to a strike. Nearly 600 nurses were in votes all day yesterday, voting on whether to authorize an unfair labor practice strike, wrapping up late last night. And the results, again, are expected to be revealed at a press conference that will be here in Robbinsdale at 9 a.m. this morning. Meanwhile, nurses and hospital leaders are set to return to the bargaining table this morning for their 30th negotiation session. These negotiations have been ongoing for more than a year as nurses push for increased staffing levels, equal pay and benefits, and protections in the event of a future sale or merger. The vote itself would not automatically trigger a strike, but it would give union leaders the authority to call one if negotiations continue to stall.
We don't want to be striking. It's a last resort. However, we really feel passionately that patients are our priority.
We hope that the dedication from our nurses is heard by hospital management and that we can just go forward with the proposals that are already on the table. They were presented months ago and there's been just very slow progress toward a contract that works for everyone.
And in a statement to KARE 11, North Memorial says that it's committed to reaching a deal that supports long-term stability, patient care, and nurses. Now, these talks also come just days after North Memorial announced plans to merge with Sanford Health. I'll have more on that and how that all ties into these negotiations coming up in 30 minutes. Back to you.
Megan, thanks for that update. Well, in just 1 hour, voters across the Twin Cities metro will head to the polls to cast their ballots on multiple school referendums. In Lakeville, they'll decide on whether to approve $139 million to renovate the district's 3 middle schools. Other districts like South St. Paul and Princeton Public Schools are voting on building bonds to update infrastructure and capital project levies aimed at funding technology and security. Polls open at 7 this morning and close tonight at 8.
This morning at the state capitol, a proposal creating a statewide office of inspector general is on Governor Walz's desk. The Senate passed it yesterday, days after the House approved it 127-5. It's the state's legislature's response to widespread fraud in the state's social service programs. Once the governor signs, the first inspector general would be appointed in 2027.
In 2 days, disgraced former state senator Justin Eichhorn is expected to change his plea to guilty in the case where he's accused of soliciting a minor for sex. Eichhorn initially pleaded not guilty, facing a minimum of 10 years in prison following a Bloomington PD sting operation. Last summer, his defense team argued the case should be dropped, claiming that he was signaled out because of his role in the legislature. Eichhorn resigned his seat shortly after his arrest.
This morning, we're learning more about the American passengers aboard a hantavirus-stricken cruise ship now in quarantine in the U.S. Health officials say more than a dozen Americans were on board. Most are now in a special quarantine center over in Omaha, including one person who tested positive for the virus but is not showing any symptoms. Another person who developed mild symptoms and their partner were taken to another facility in Atlanta. Health experts say this outbreak is not like COVID and will not lead to another pandemic.
Hantavirus is a known virus. It is a known pathogen. And that helps us. We know what we're doing and we know how we're responding. The system worked. We've moved quickly. We identified the passengers. We identified a way to get them back.
The American passengers will be monitored for a few days before they're sent home to isolate for 42 days.